Hey, I'm Chandler Giesbrecht from Giesbrecht HVAC. I have been in this business for 19 years. Are you considering a career as an HVAC technician? That is great. Becoming an HVAC technician is an exciting and rewarding career path, but it's essential to have a clear understanding of what it entails. By the end of this video, you will have a comprehensive overview of the crucial things you need to know before embarking on your HVAC journey. Hey there, today I want to demonstrate the importance of time management in the HVAC trade. We have multiple tasks in a day as an HVAC technician, so it's important that you understand what your schedule's going to be and how to prioritize your time and be prepared for the day. So as a service tech, the first thing you want to do to be efficient is the night before be looking through your appointments and understand what you have to do the next day, so that in the morning when you come in, you already know, hey, I need to be at this location at this time and I need these parts. And that's pretty simple. Most of the time you can drill in to the actual appointment and see any work order notes that are in your appointment. This is a specific software, but most any software is going to have all these data points, and you can see what's been entered and that you need any kind of parts on the shelf and have them ready to go for the next morning. Now let's see how I manage my time effectively when on site to minimize downtime. So when I arrive, I have all of my tools right here so that I can do my diagnostic, and I also have my commonly used parts so that I'm able to repair the system efficiently and get the system back functioning for the customer. I also have other parts and tools available that I don't have maybe in this bag within easy reach. Typically I try to make sure that I can reach into my truck without having to get up in there to get to commonly used items, so that I don't have to get all the way up in the truck, get it out, and then have to go all the way back to put it in. So the whole goal when you're on site is to eliminate unnecessary trips back to the truck and to minimize your actual time on site as much as possible. You want to do a great job and deliver great value, but be efficient. Time management doesn't end at the job site. Once you arrive back at your warehouse facility, and it's important, let me emphasize this, don't run back to your warehouse facility the moment you're done with every repair. That's wasting time. You want to have enough parts and pieces on your truck to be able to keep working through 3, 4, maybe as many as 10 calls at a time. And then when you get back to the warehouse, you save your parts. My method is I keep the empty box. I come to the warehouse parts facility storage. I find the part that I used. I pull it off of the shelf, and I throw this part in the trash can, so that now that is no longer there and I've got my new part. I come here and I write on the list my new part that I'm pulling. That way, not only am I being efficient, but I'm also making it so the warehouse person can order back in exactly what's needed, and it's documented what truck it went on and how many quantity that I used. Remember, in the HVAC trade, time management is of the utmost importance. Through proper time management, communication, and efficient work practices, we deliver excellent value to our customers and our clients. It doesn't matter what company you're working for, it doesn't matter where you're at geographically, but as an HVAC technician, this helps promote you in your professional career. Now I want to discuss the basic fundamentals that every HVAC technician needs to know. Whether you're just starting or looking to refresh your knowledge, these fundamentals are the building blocks of a successful HVAC career. So let's get started. One of the key tools that you need to have as an HVAC technician is a reliable electrical meter. There's lots of different brands, there's lots of different types of these meters, but a good basic meter is digital multimeter with an amp clamp is very important for you to start. You need to have a basic understanding of these different functions that the meter can perform. But without this, you are not able to diagnose electrical issues on an air conditioning system. And without that ability, you are not able to diagnose as many as 90% of some of the issues we deal with in the air conditioning industry, especially when you're doing service and maintenance work. Another fundamental tool is to have some type of a temperature gun. So this particular one is a laser gun that I can actually see where I'm taking temperature from. We use this primarily to take temperature of supply and return vents. It's not the only way you can do it, but it's very important to have because you can get a really quick reading of what a system is doing. Some other basic fundamental tools are some sort of an impact driver or drill for removing screws. You need to have 5/16 and 1/4 inch bits, magnetic nut setters they're called, for removing screws from the actual panels of air conditioning. It's nice to have a set of 5/16 and 1/4 inch nut drivers. If you want to invest a little bit more, you can get the 3/8 and maybe even 1/2 inch. A small socket set, some type of a wire strippers, a wire crimper, side cutters of some sort for cutting wire in particular applications. Another one is people call it a pair of dikes, or I call it a lineman's pliers. So there's a handful of tools like that, and of course you can't forget your basic Phillips head and flathead screwdrivers. Little bit of a peeve of mine is when people use the 12-in-1 multi-tool that's a screwdriver. You tend to lose those bits. I don't know why, it just happens. So I recommend buying a designated tool for whatever you're using it for. So buy a Phillips head screwdriver, a number 2 Phillips head, or a number 3, and make sure you keep up with it. Those tools will serve you for a lifetime. Now that we've covered a lot of the fundamental tools and things that an HVAC technician needs when his work, let's talk about the knowledge that you need to have as just to be a simple maintenance or service technician. Even an install tech is really good if he knows these things. So number 1, you need to have good terminology. You need to be able to call things by the name that they are. You don't want to call it a box when it's actually a condensing unit. You don't want to call it a unit when it's actually an air handler. You want to know the correct terminologies. The correct terminologies also can be, a condenser is more of a technical term. I recommend that when you're working with the homeowner, you refer to your condenser as an outdoor unit. A homeowner doesn't always know, or a business owner doesn't always know, that the condenser is the outdoor unit. So figure out those terminologies, understand the technical term, but understand also how to communicate well with your client on that. Understand your parts. This is crucial. As a technician, you're going to have times when you need technical support. And if you're calling a relay, a circuit board, or a circuit board, a relay, whoever's giving you tech support is not going to be able to guide you in the correct direction to check the proper items. So get those terminologies down pat. Next is you need to have a good understanding of electrical. So you need to understand the difference between high voltage electrical and low voltage electrical. You need to understand, what does high voltage do? What does low voltage do? What should my voltage reading be when I'm actually checking power on a particular unit? Outdoor unit, indoor unit, furnace, so forth. So we'll dig into that, but that is something you need to know. Refrigeration is a big part of what we do. You need to understand the refrigeration circuit. You need to understand how that process works. How does the refrigerant change state? How does it absorb heat? How does the heat removed? You need to understand that whole process. And you also need to know your different refrigerant types, because when you're checking different systems, you need to change the pressure temperature charts change as you're checking different types of refrigerant. So you have to make sure you have the correct refrigerant selected. And finally, you need to have a good understanding of airflow. This one is one that's missed a lot in our industry. These first two or these second 2 and 3 don't get focused on a lot, but this airflow one gets missed many times. And it leads people to misdiagnose a lot of air conditioning systems. So one, you need to have a good understanding of ducting, possibly, how do I design ducting? Number one, do I design it where it has a sharp 90-degree turn in it, or do I try to make it a straight run? That's one. Two, do I understand the size of duct that I need to use to move the correct amount of CFM? So we need to have a good understanding of cubic feet of air per minute. And then finally, static pressure. Understanding what static pressure does this system need to function at in order to work efficiently. So these are fundamental things you need to understand. So I want to talk about the exciting career prospects and advancement opportunities in the HVAC trade. If you're considering a career as an HVAC technician, you are in for a world of possibilities. So as an HVAC technician, there's so many possibilities of skills that you can learn. Number one, I get to work with my hands, and that's absolutely true. The things that you get to learn how to do with your hands are, one, you're going to learn basic mechanical skills, how to do electrical, how to wire things up, how to do copper work, brazing, fitting copper, how to do plumbing. It's amazing to me how many people come to work together with me in the past that did not know how to do a simple job of gluing PVC together. And what this does for you is, in your professional career, it advances you, yes, but personally, it empowers you as a person to do simple tasks around your house. There's so many people today that do not know how to fix a simple water leak in their own home because they just don't know how. They've never been taught. They didn't have a father who taught them. They didn't have any exposure to anyone who knew how to do that. So you learn all these valuable skills. That's not the reason for becoming an HVAC technician, but these are some of the side benefits that you get. All right, so one traditional method of education for a lot of people has been your technical school or trade school. This involves a 2-year degree. I myself haven't actually been to trade school, but having visited with people and observed people who have, it is a valid way of getting an education. It does take 2 years. And with the resources that we have available, we can actually many times do it faster than that through other methods. However, when you come out of trade school, you do have a lot of your certifications to be an HVAC technician, and you would also qualify to go sit for your license after you have work experience, which you could gain during that 2 years of trade school. For a state license, in this case, the state of Georgia, you could go sit for your license and become an actual licensed HVAC technician, which would allow you to become an owner of your own company. However, it does take, like I said, 2 years, and that's 2 years of your life that you've invested in schooling. But it is an opportunity for someone, and it does appeal to people that would be more minded towards that they did really well in school and they want to work with their hands at the same time. So that's when trade school is a good fit. A more popular alternative to trade school is now becoming the method of using apprentice tech positions. So in our trade, an entry-level position in a company is a maintenance tech. And what a lot of education companies are doing now is they are creating a course where you, as a completely green technician, never put your hands on anything, maybe seeing a little bit how the industry works, you can go to a university that maybe takes 2 weeks, maybe it's 10 days, just depends on how they structure their program. And when you come out of that program, you are work ready. So you have the basic knowledge and skills to be put into a service vehicle and begin doing actual technical work. Depending on your age, location, career status that you currently have, depends on whether trade school or whether an apprentice type tech position would be advantageous for you. So let's look at 2 examples. One, let's say we have someone who's about 18 to 19 years old. They maybe have recently graduated from high school and they're looking to, move into an HVAC career, and they're not looking to go to college. They don't want to spend time in school. Maybe they have a bad impression of what school is like. They're that type of person that says, hey, school's not for me. An apprentice tech position is excellent for them because, number one, they get hired on immediately as some sort of, they can be like a helper. They can start making maybe a minimum of, at this time in the Southeast where I'm located, they might make like $15 an hour, and they're able to actually earn a wage while learning more. And if the company that they've signed on with has their best interest in mind and has the interest of their people in mind, they're going to produce some sort of a wage progression for that individual, so that they say, when you achieve these certifications, when you achieve this skill level, we will now pay you $16 an hour, $17 an hour. And slowly their wages are raised and their skill levels increased over the course of 2 years. So that person can be in a very good position by the time they're 20, 21 to really launch into their career as a well-rounded qualified technician. That being said, to be an HVAC technician requires strength and endurance. We often work with heavy equipment such as air conditioning units, furnaces, and boilers. We also need to be comfortable working in tight and confined spaces. HVAC systems are often installed in crawl spaces, attics, or small mechanical rooms. Also, as HVAC technicians, we frequently climb ladders to access rooftop units, ventilation systems, or other elevated equipment. Being comfortable with heights is essential. Finally, we need to be on our feet for long periods. HVAC technicians spend a significant amount of time standing, walking, and moving around job sites. So it is important to take into consideration the physical as well as the mental strain of being an HVAC tech will take on you. Now we're going to talk about an important aspect of being an HVAC technician: staying updated on industry trends and technology. In the ever-evolving HVAC field, being aware of the latest trends and advancements is crucial to staying competitive and relevant in the industry. Networking with industry professionals is another valuable way to stay updated. Connect with fellow technicians, manufacturers, and industry experts through online forums, trade associations, or local HVAC events. These connections can provide insights into industry trends and foster collaborative learning. So our industry has been changing rapidly in the last 5 years. And what we're seeing a lot of is moving away from traditional types of communication for the equipment to systems that actually talk to each other. So you have a thermostat, an indoor unit, an outdoor unit, and they all talk to each other and they know exactly what the other one is doing, and they're able to establish error codes so that technicians can more efficiently fix systems. Staying updated on industry trends and technology not only enhances your knowledge, but also demonstrates your commitment to providing quality service. Remember, customers appreciate technicians who are knowledgeable about the latest advancements and can offer efficient and sustainable solutions, subsequently reducing the amount of money coming out of their pocket. I want to highlight the importance of customer service and sales skills in the HVAC trade. Being an HVAC technician isn't just about technical expertise. It's also about building relationships and providing exceptional service to our customers. Effective communication is key. We need to be able to explain complex technical HVAC terms to homeowners and businesses to diagnose the right solution. To build rapport with your customers and convert them into clients, always be honest, ethical, and provide solutions that you would do for yourself. and how you would like to be treated. It's very important to always think about that when you're dealing with your customers. Problem solving is at the core of what we do as HVAC technicians. We are faced with a wide range of issues, from malfunctioning components to complex system failures. Our ability to diagnose and resolve these problems efficiently is crucial. So a couple examples of problem solving that we deal with on a daily basis, especially when you're thinking of maintenance and service technicians. So let's say that you go on a no cooling call and the client says, hey, my AC was working yesterday, but now it's not working properly today. Well, it's up to you to diagnose and figure out what the problem is. Sometimes that can be complex, sometimes it can be, a little more, it can be simple. Let's say in this case that the system is low on refrigerant. You get maybe the indoor coil is iced up because of low refrigerant, and you get that thawed out and you add the refrigerant to the system and you get it functioning. Well, your job should be done, right? Well, not necessarily. You need to dig a little deeper than that. So part of being a good problem solver is being thorough and making sure that you follow your process entirely. Now, another important aspect of developing all of these things is putting in the time or putting in the reps. So that involves, number one, when you're at work, be present. Don't be distracted by other things you have going on in your life. Be focused and attentive at all times in your work. And seek for opportunities to maybe stay later at work, maybe even on your own time. So if there's an opportunity for you to learn something more, maybe it's with another technician, maybe you can ride along with them on the weekend when they're pulling a weekend shift or a late night shift. That is when you really learn some of the good gold stuff. And that is what will further you. Those experiences will really further you in your ability to problem solve. So it's about getting in, get close to those people that you see are talented. Once again, the networking aspect, but also be very attentive and try things. Don't be scared to try things, but understand that if you try something, you might have to fix it, sure, but take some risk at the same time. Calculated risk, not crazy stuff, but take some risk and think for yourself. These are things that will help you progress in your HVAC career. By developing strong problem-solving skills, we become reliable problem solvers and trusted HVAC technicians. Our ability to diagnose issues efficiently and implement effective solutions makes us invaluable in the field.